while we get our KC together here to do our mass next on stream, which we do, I don't know, like 3 days a week, available. Anyone can come by. Anyone can get Torva. You get to keep all the money you make. Only at King Condor on YouTube and King Condor on Kick. We're going to look at this getting around update blog for the Holy Moleys, because Jagex is making some changes. Excuse me while my fucking capture card shits the bed. Jagex is making a few changes quickly to the Holy Moly update, and I want to check those out quickly because this may determine the price of the mole slippers going forward. Now, I want to make it very clear to everyone involved. Tasty was lying. I did not make 10 bill on the mole slippers. That did not happen. He was joking. I made much more than 10 bill on the mole slippers, but the problem is for you guys is I made that money about a year and a half ago when the mole slippers were worth about 2 mil and 1.4 mil. Okay, you missed the real train. That was market manipulation out of my control. I saw it coming. I actually had inside knowledge of it coming, and I took advantage of it. It was from another player who had like 1,000 pairs, so I didn't make that much money this time around because I didn't actually hold any mole slippers. But if you made money, congratulations, you're welcome. They're making some changes here before the poll comes out tomorrow. The herb sack upgrades in the Seracnus instance. A lot of discussion around the herb sack upgrade is focused on Seracnus, particularly concerns about world congestion and the difficulty players can face when finding a free world. Many of you told us that you like the idea of the herb sack upgrade itself, but the increased competition for worlds and excessive world hopping would be a major frustration. One of the most common suggestions was to offer an optional instance version for Seracnus. Under the proposal, the instance version will allow players to pursue the upgrade without excessive worlds, while leaving the existing non-instance boss exactly as it is. It would cost 25k with an appropriate discount for Iron accounts. 25k for Iron accounts. Ironman. If you're an Ironman and you need a discount on 25k, you're playing the fucking game wrong. That's one rune plate body. Alk it. Don't be so cringe. As this is a meaningful change in its own right, the instance surrenders option will be presented as a separate poll. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is a non-issue. 7 days after this update comes out, there will no longer be Seracnus herb sack congestion problems. If you wait a week, this isn't a problem anymore. This is people are making short-term concerns and then trying to provide long-term updates and fixes. Now, I'm going to be completely fair here. This is a good update regardless. I think all bosses should have instance options available. Absolutely. It's a gold sink. It saves it getting crashed. Give everyone fucking instances. I don't mind that at all. Instances do cause lag on worlds when there's a lot of instances too, so that you do have to keep that in mind. But why not? Not worldy bosses. They should not be instanced because of PvP aspects, and that's why, you know, they're fucked anyway. But bosses outside of the wilderness should absolutely have instances because why not? They shouldn't be free instances, and there shouldn't really be discounts for irons. I think we're at the point in old school RuneScape now where making money on an Iron Man is super easy. That it's really, it doesn't need to be that big, especially for 25k. I'll vote yes for this, but I think Jagex needs to change the direction of them implementing instances at bosses, in my opinion. Holy Mollies and Devote Boots. So there's been discussion around the Holy Mollies and the exclusion of Devote Boots, particularly from Iron players who don't want to feel forced to regrind Holy Sandals. Okay. To be clear, allowing Devote Boots to be used in combination isn't something we're looking to change. Holy Mollies are designed to be purely cosmetic, item made from two lower impacted pieces, rather than a way to attach a novelty item to a best in slot upgrade. Fair enough. So using Devote Boots would blur that line, which isn't the intention here. Okay, that said, we do recognise the inconvenience this creates for some accounts. To address this about changing the core design, we're proposing an additional poll, which would allow Devote Boots to be dismantled back to Holy Sandals. This will give Iron players a way to create Holy Mollies if they wish, without needing to regrind content they've already completed. We can also confirm that Holy Mollies will count as warm clothing at Wintertodd, so you'll have a perfectly valid reason to go chop and burn in style. Holy Mollies are warm clothing in Wintertodd, so panic buy now. They're going to go up in value, of course. That's panic buy territory there. I don't care if you can revert Devote Boots. I think you can revert pretty much anything anyway. So it's not like this is unique, so sure, I guess so. I don't really care. I want to Devote Boots, now I just want Holy Mollies, fuck the Devotes. Well, now you can have both, if this passes. How easy can we make the game mode that's supposed to be harder? I don't think part of the Iron Man grind is to not be able to do anything because main account's already doing it. Like I think instances are fine to counteract that. Quetzal Whistle, unlimited charges. We've also seen a lot of discussion around this, the Quetzal Whistle, particularly about the option for unlimited charges. You're right to call this out. When the Perfected Whistle was blogged back in September 23, we said there would be an option to upgrade to unlimited charges, and that hasn't been delivered yet. Based on your feedback, we're now committing to adding an unlimited use option for the Perfected Quetzal Whistle as part of this update. This will be unlocked by trading in a hefty amount of hunter meat. I've got fuck tons, as originally outlined, and will provide a permanent charge-free version for the whistle. We do previously consider trying this upgrade to the Valamore Achievement Diary, which isn't here yet. But given that was promised earlier, we agree it's better to deliver this directly rather than pushing it back behind a different system. Bro, who gives a fuck? Right, you could have waited for the Valamore Diary. Are you serious? You've told us about it now anyway. You may as well. Fuck. Doom will probably be on it. Yeah, Doom, Coliseum, all that. We also wanted to address the proposed wilderness teleport change to explain why we're choosing to hold off for now. Oh no. The original aim of this idea was to make multi-combat fights healthier and more decisive by encouraging players to bring meaningful gear to commit to the encounter. In particular, it was intended to reduce situations where rot was being gay. From a long-term health perspective, we still believe that addressing low-risk rag returning is important. We've also seen a lot of agreement that endlessly returning in no gear isn't great for the game overall. The idea is introducing a risk-based exemption where players who die while risking a meaningful amount wouldn't be subject to the teleport cooldown. It's something we think is a real potential when we revisit this. We also understand that for some players, repeated return fights offer something that they genuinely enjoy. Whether that's the social side, the back and forth of multi-combat, or simply having something active to engage with. We don't want to disrupt that without offering something in return, and introducing a restriction on its own would likely feel more frustrating than constructive, even with our long-term goal in mind. Yeah, but after like a couple of weeks, they'll just change the way they go about these fights and be more logical and methodical about it, right? And it won't be such an issue, don't you think? This is silly. We decided to pause this proposal. Why don't you make a multi-combat wilderness island and just remove multi from the wilderness, and then teams can fuck off and fight over there. The only thing you're losing there is the joy of finding a team and calling the boys in. Yeah, but you can just go hunting on the fucking island anyway. Like, I don't know. 2-second idea to gaslight a bunch of people. Pit minigame improvements. There's been some understandable confusion about the intent behind the change, so we want to take a moment to clarify. You call this a moment? The 5-pit minigame rarely sees much use, of course, outside the organised play such as events or clan nights. That in mind, it's a reasonable question for what role changes they are meant to play. Okay, to add context, this proposal came about after a recent in-game fight pitch community event we ran. During that event, a lot of rounds dragged on once players reached the later stages, as it's often optimal to sit. I don't give a fuck, dude. Okay, we hope this. I don't care. No one does fight pits. I'm not doing fight pits. So I don't care about that shit at all. Do what you want with it. Get rid of it if you want. I don't care. I think that the herb sack upgrade is whatever. Yeah, just silly around the cost, of course. Holy Molly's Devote Boost. Don't care. That's cool. Yeah. Unlimited charges. Unfortunately, they're not putting it behind the Valamore Diary, which is weird. It's kind of weird that they're just kind of self-reporting the whole, we're going to bring it now instead. Like, you could just wait till you've got the diary out. The diary could easily be implemented without issue. Wilderness teleport changes being paused seems like a cop-out. In before Rot and other clans are threatening J-mods by doxing them or some shit. Obviously, that's a reach, but that being said, if you can just blame Rot for anything, then it's a win. Leave it to Jagex to fucking add time, waste to dev time. Yeah, pretty much, eh? It is what it is. But at the end of the day, Fergo just got his 5th Kodai, and I got a T-Bow. This is the easiest move in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him, goddamn! Fuck me, look at that boy. It's huge!